Now at 10, a Carl Junction family's garage destroyed by an early morning fire. Plus, rain and wet roads may be to blame for an SUV crash on I-44 this morning in Oklahoma. And
ground is said to be broken in this field behind me for a new state-of-the-art criminal center for the Kansas Bureau of Investigation. I'm Anthony Saviello. More on that story coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Emergency crews respond to a 2-alarm fire this morning in Carl Junction. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Samantha Walker. Crews responded to the house fire on Nicholas Lane in North Carl Junction just before 5:15. On scene, responders saw heavy smoke coming from the roof and attic area. The initial investigation suggests the fire originated just outside the garage in a trash can on the side of the house. Crews have not determined what was in the trash can at that time. Everyone made it out of the house safely and without injury. A 16-year-old boy has died following a UTV crash earlier today in McDonald County, Missouri. Reports of the crash came in just before 11:30 a.m. Troopers say the driver of the UTV, which was being driven on private property, attempted to make a turn and overturned. The driver from Bentonville, Arkansas, was pronounced dead at the scene. Rain may have played a part in an SUV overturning on Interstate 44 this morning. Reports of the crash came in just before 9:30 this morning near the tri-state line in Oklahoma. Sources say there were no injuries and traffic continued as the crash was off the roadway. Rain was steady and had drenched the interstate. Experts say to reduce the risk of hydroplaning, drivers should slow down in wet conditions, ensure tires have adequate tread, and avoid sudden maneuvers. This Labor Day, community members in Joplin used the holiday to protest. Protesters stood at 7th and Range Line to advocate for workers and everyday citizens over billionaires. They advocated for protection and expansion of Medicaid and Social Security. Organizers say working people built the nation and that, quote, the billionaires' time is up.
We're here to simply let the folks out there know in the event that they're questioning what's happening, going on in this country, in and around Joplin and in this country. If they feel like things are just not right, they're not alone.
Protests like this one held in Joplin took place all across the United States today. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty now joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, I hope you had a fantastic Labor Day. We had a dreary start. A lot of showers across the region all morning long, but the afternoon turned out to be pretty good. We have partly sunny skies. Now, late this evening into the overnight hours tomorrow, we are going to have some random showers out there. Not a big deal. Temperatures staying warm Tuesday and Wednesday. Some thunderstorm chances back in as we get into Wednesday night. We have this upper level wave kind of rotating on us. So we are going to get a few random scattered showers back in here late tonight. And then again, as we go kind of hit and miss on Tuesday. Here's your morning hours. Sitting into low to mid 60s, a random scattered thunderstorm. And again, even as we get into the afternoon, not near as widespread as what we saw today and also yesterday, but they're still going to be out there. High temps upper 70s to near 80 degrees. We'll talk about those thunderstorms as well here in just a bit.
Thanks, Doug. Universities across the country have been the targets of swatting calls recently, putting students, staff, and police on high alert. Chris Bryan spoke with Missouri State University leaders about the tool they use to keep the Springfield campus informed about emergencies.
Swatting calls have one thing that they're trying to create, and that's hysteria.
Since August 21st, college campuses across the nation have been the targets of these swatting calls. And just Tuesday morning, West Virginia University was added to that list.
So whenever you pinpoint a college campus as the source of a swatting call, now you got multiple agencies responding.
For Missouri State University,
we think about these sorts of things all the time, so it's always on our mind here at University Safety, but it isn't on everyone's mind everywhere else that is operating outside the public safety environment.
As classes are just underway, the campus community is currently taking the campus safety classes.
Staff and faculty and students are taking 3 classes that we assign as mandatory training, and part of that includes the active shooter response.
And this academic year, the university is introducing a new app to help alert the campus.
Rolled out the Bear Shield app, which was part of upgrading our entire emergency notification system. We can more easily isolate the incident when it's occurring, but also notify students and staff and faculty on what to do and where to stay away from.
The app can also be used by those that are visiting the campus, either for education, sports, or the performing arts.
You don't even have to make a call. You can initiate a chat or submit a tip with pictures, and that information goes immediately to our dispatchers. They see it right away. They get an alert.
And there's a safety feature that won't allow you to make a fake call if you're off campus.
So if you hit the panic button and you're off campus, it immediately diverts you to 911.
While recent events have been found to be hoaxes, that doesn't mean people shouldn't make a report if they see something.
But every individual needs to treat any notification that there's an active shooter as a credible threat, and to initiate those policies or actions that they have trained or practiced and start implementing those immediately until proven otherwise.
Another recent swatting incident happened at Kansas State University just last month. On K-State's first day of classes, a hoax call reported active violence at the Hale Library, leading to a campus lockdown until officers determined the report was a hoax. A new state-of-the-art facility will soon be erected in Pittsburgh. The project is a collaboration between the Kansas Bureau of Investigation and PSU. KOAM's Anthony Saviello explains.
The Kansas Bureau of Investigation is about to get a new facility with a whole bunch of new bells and whistles, and it's also going to benefit Pittsburgh State students as well. According to Kansas Bureau of Investigation Director Tony Matavy, the Bureau has faced numerous challenges in its current location and is needed to transition to a more reliable facility, and that's where Pitt State comes in. This area of land is where the new $40 million, 53,000 square foot facility is expected to be built. The project was covered by a mix of state and federal funds. Over the past year, the project has been in the planning and funding phases, and during that time, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation has used the Tyler Research Center to conduct its business. And while the Bureau of Investigation will still have to use the Tyler Research Center for a little while longer while the new facility is being built, come Friday, September 5th, it's just a little while longer before they have their very own state-of-the-art facility. In Pittsburgh, Kansas, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
The facility will also house the PSU Police Department and collaborative workspaces for local, state, and federal law enforcement. Well, up next, the president signals Chicago could be the next American city to see National Guard troops on its street. That story's coming up, and later, survivors look for victims in the dark after an earthquake strikes eastern Afghanistan in the middle of the night. Expectations are growing that Chicago could be the next city to see National Guard troops on its street. On Labor Day, President Trump took to social media, suggesting the Guard is needed in the nation's third largest city to help eliminate crime. The president's comments come just hours after a federal judge blocked the administration from deporting dozens of unaccompanied migrant children back to Guatemala just as their flight was about to take off. Torrin Small reports from the White House.
With the summer unofficially ending,
they're invading American cities.
President Trump's battle with Democratic leaders is heating up.
Bringing troops into a city and a state that don't want those troops, they're crossing a line that hasn't been crossed in my entire lifetime.
After deploying National Guard troops in D.C., the president praised the city's mayor on social media Monday for, quote, working with him and bringing crime down to virtually nothing, urging officials in Chicago and other cities to do the same.
They need someone to help them get the dangerous criminals off their streets.
On Sunday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed the Trump administration's plans to expand immigration enforcement in Chicago as soon as this week. But the city's mayor has already signed an executive order barring Chicago police from cooperating with federal agents.
We do not want to see families ripped apart.
The Trump administration says it's also considering sending troops to Republican-led cities as part of its crackdown on crime and immigration.
There's a lot of cities that are dealing with crime and violence right now, and so we haven't taken anything off the table.
Sunday, a federal judge blocked part of the administration's deportation plans, issuing an order to temporarily halt the deportation of unaccompanied migrant children to Guatemala, as some were sitting on planes ready to take off. Lawyers argued they would be at risk of persecution if they were returned. This uncle of one of the children in Guatemala City says his nephew fled out of desperation and hopes to stay in the U.S. to study. Attorneys for the Trump administration argued the children's relatives requested the reunifications. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
A government lawyer says all 76 children targeted for deportation have been returned to the custody of Health and Human Services as the case plays out in court. The Trump administration has increased efforts to get personal information about tens of millions of voters nationwide. This comes as President Trump asserts a larger federal role in elections ahead of next year's midterms. In recent weeks, the Department of Justice sent state election officials letters seeking unredacted copies of the state's voter registration databases. The information includes voters' names, addresses, and driver's license numbers. The DOJ said its goal is to ensure compliance with a federal law requiring states to maintain accurate voter rolls. President Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs remain in place for now, after a federal court ruled on Friday that many of them are illegal. In its decision, the court said the president exceeded his powers under federal economic emergency laws, though the ruling will not take effect until mid-October to allow for an appeal to the Supreme Court, which the Trump administration says they've vowed to do. The president railed against the ruling on social media over the weekend, writing that without tariffs, quote, our country would be completely destroyed. Rescue workers are searching for victims of an earthquake in eastern Afghanistan. A magnitude 6, it struck in the dark of night while most people were sleeping. More than 800 were killed. Elizabeth Palmer has the latest.
When the quake struck in the middle of the night, survivors scrambled to find victims in the dark. Sunrise revealed the devastation. Whole villages in ruins. Mud brick houses collapsed on families while they slept. Local people began to bury their dead today, including their children. They did what they could for the wounded, too, in a region hard to get at the best of times. Afghanistan's Taliban government mobilized the few helicopters it has to reach some of the injured and get them to hospitals so crowded that this doctor had to search for a place to lay down 3-year-old Nasib Ullah. His twin and his brother were both killed. Their father, Mir Zaman, said he dug them out of the ruins himself. A Taliban health ministry official appealed to the international community.
We urgently call on humanitarian organizations to step in.
A few have, like the Red Crescent, and some medical teams have made it into remote areas, but the casualty numbers are sure to keep rising.
Elizabeth Palmer, CBS News, London.
Doug returns next with a complete look at your forecast. And then coming up next, disc golfers celebrate the holiday with some friendly competition.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a great Labor Day for us today. Yes, it was wet to start, but we got the sunshine during the afternoon, so hope you got outside and enjoyed it, as we are going to get some more scattered showers and a few thunderstorms in here once again. There are still a few guys out to our west, and a few of these guys the rest of tonight could kind of push in. So don't be surprised if you get some hit or miss little scattered showers or thunderstorms. Let's look at the batch that we had earlier today. Now, it was decently widespread. About half of us got rain. Northern counties, not really any. You can see up toward Girard, 0.2 of an inch, but we did have some pockets, 1 to 2 inches through northeastern Oklahoma, down toward Grand Lake. Joplin Metro, mainly about 1/2 inch, and then a sharp cutoff again, but at least we got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there. All right, let's go through the rest of the night into the morning hours. Again, some random spotty little guys across the region. Temperatures will start into lower 60s. Let me take you through your Tuesday. Again, Random hit or miss shower through the morning. I think most of us mid-70s by noon, and a couple pop-up guys during the afternoon. Most of us are going to top out 78, 79 degrees, maybe an 80 if we can get enough sunshine. Tomorrow night, nice and calm, very comfy. We drop back upper 50s, and then Wednesday looks pretty good. We get a southerly wind, we heat up, we go to 83, 84, 85 degrees. But as we get into Wednesday night, we have a cold front dropping in. With this front, we're going to get some scattered thunderstorms along that front driving through. A few of those guys could be a little beefier, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Here's after midnight. Let's go into Thursday morning. Anything that is out there will be gone. So any showers next 24 hours, very spotty. A little bit more widespread as these drop in Wednesday night into Thursday. So at least we still have some chances for rain out there. 64 to start, 74 by noon. Let's go with a high temp, 79 or 80 degrees. Of course, we've been a little bit cooler due to our flow out of Canada, and you can see our wave right here that is tracking through. So let's watch it. It rotates out of here, but notice this strong system right across the Great Lakes. This pulls in cooler air. It doesn't really cool us down much. It just keeps us below average. We're about 7 or 8 degrees below average. So we sit with this nice air mass on top of us all the way through the weekend. Now, as we get into early next week, here comes a wave that will have the potential to give us more widespread rain across the region. So this is going to be next Monday into Tuesday, and then we warm up a bit. The middle of September is definitely going to be a little bit hotter than what we've been experiencing the past couple weeks. 80 on your Tuesday, 84 on Wednesday, 79 Thursday. Look at this, Friday, Saturday, right around 80 degrees. Thunderstorm chances next Monday and Tuesday. Sam?
Thanks, Doug. September is here, and you know what that means. It's almost fall. Whether you're into haunted houses or just a good old-fashioned hayride or pumpkin patch, the four-state area has something to offer everyone as temperatures begin to drop. Head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for a list of fall events. Well, still ahead, the St. Louis Cardinals look for a win on Labor Day. Plus, get a sneak peek of the 2025 Frontenac football team ahead of their Friday season opener. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next.
Frontenac Raider football prepares for the 2025 season following a disappointing playoff exit last year. The Raiders dominated in 2024, going 9-1, but a loss to Perry Lecompton in the regional playoffs ended their season. All summer long, Frontenac's returning players have worked hard to be a better and more cohesive team. And it all starts with the leadership of junior quarterback Brogan Smith.
It prepared me a lot last year, just really getting into the groove of things, starting my first year, getting to know the guys, getting to know the Coach Miller's offense, and the loss to Perry Lecompton, I think it lit a fire under all of us, so we're ready to get back this year and get after it. This summer we got back in the weight room, showed up to football every day, relearning the offense, helping getting younger guys more comfortable, and just getting ready to start the season against Galena.
Smith returns as field general for another season, but we'll see a lot of new faces for the Raiders in 2025. Frontenac will lean heavily on juniors and seniors becoming true starters for the first time, especially on the offensive line, which needs 3 new guys to step into starting roles.
You know, we only returned 2 guys that had a lot of varsity experience on the offensive line, so it takes time to get those guys to mold, but they've done a nice job. You know, we're work in progress, but we're getting better every day. Do your job, all of us do our job, you know, things will be good for us. The more sure we are of ourselves, the more confident we are in ourselves and our teammates, the faster we can play, and that's what we're going to do.
The Raiders open up their season this Friday against Galena. Last year, Frontenac took down the Bulldogs 27-0 in the season opener. In Major League Baseball, the Cardinals look to take down the Athletics in the series opener. The Cardinals versus Athletics matchup on Labor Day. First inning, A's have 2 runners on, no outs. Brent Rooker pops one into center. Nathan Church is racing in. He dives and makes the incredible catch for the first out of the game. So we head to the 4th, still scoreless. Man on second, 2 outs for JJ Bidet, and that one's not coming back, and the Athletics take the 2-0 lead. Next batter, Zach Geloff blasts one to opposite field, and it carries into the bullpen for back-to-back Athletics homers. Bottom of the inning, Ivan Herrera hammers one long gone and into Big Mac land to cut the Athletics lead to 2 runs. But things would get ugly from there. The A's just keep tacking on runs and go on to take down St. Louis 11-3. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after this.
All right, we're still going to be dodging a couple random little showers out there tonight. And still a few pop-up storms, especially on Tuesday afternoon. A high temp, upper 70s to near 80. 84 on Wednesday. Thunderstorms by Wednesday evening, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Then a nice stretch of really good weather all the way in and through the weekend.
Doug, thanks. Today's dreary weather did stop some friendly competition in Joplin. Some disc golf athletes celebrated Labor Day with some casual doubles rounds at McClellan Championship Disc Golf Complex. More than 30 people came out to play, including different groups and teams. One group, called the Trees Nuts, even came from Springfield to get some plays in.
Disc golf is mostly free, and a lot of folks from different economic backgrounds enjoy disc golf who maybe ball golf isn't approachable for.
At the end of this month, the Joplin Disc Golf Club will host the 20th annual Four States Open Disc Golf Tournament at McClellan Park. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Let's make it a great evening.